Downing Street sources have warned the UK could be a week away from trade talks with the EU breaking down. The government has reportedly cautioned that no deal is arguably underpriced, and a significant gap still exists on fisheries. According to The Telegraph, this assessment was issued at the start of what may be the final week of trade negotiations between the UK and the EU. The comments suggest Britain is toughening its stance on the talks, which have been drawn out for months. The EU's chief negotiator Michel Barnier arrived in London on Friday in preparation to reignite Brexit talks. After spending a week in isolation following a member of the bloc's team testing positive for coronavirus, Mr. Barnier resumed face-to-face negotiations with the UK on Saturday morning. Before his arrival, Mr. Barnier wrote on Twitter that the same significant divergences persist in Brexit talks. The UK and France signed a new bilateral deal on Saturday which prevents Channel migrant crossings. The new agreement means France has to double police beach patrols but can continue to resist taking back arrivals. Although the deal signaled a sign of hope between the UK and EU, Number 10's most recent warning casts doubt on the talks. Both sides need to pass in law the details of the trade treaty before the transition period ends at the start of January. Sources in the government told The Telegraph that Brexit talks are likely to be concluded by next weekend. One source said the negotiations should be resolved, one way or another, this week. Mr. Barnier sparked disdain from ministers in London after proposing that the EU should grant British access to just 15% to 18% of the fish in UK waters. A UK government source told The Telegraph that the offer displayed how different the two sides stand. They added, "These figures are risible, and the EU side know full well that we would never accept this. There seems to be a failure from the Commission to internalize the scale of change needed as we become an independent nation." Negotiations between Mr. Barnier and his UK counterpart David Frost are set to continue on Sunday and into next week. On Friday, Lord Frost wrote on Twitter that it is late to be negotiating for a deal. But he added, "A deal is still possible, and I will continue to talk until it's clear that it isn't."